John from High Junction. Welcome to the latest video, Spring 26 update. I can't believe I'm saying it, Spring 26. Where's that time gone? And once again, I've got to apologise for the long delay in uploading another video. But I have been busy, and I have also been busy up here on the layout. During the months of January and February, I lost 15 days due to weather. So some of them days I came up here and made fine progress on the layout, especially on the harbour station. Actually, I was so engrossed with it that I actually forgot to do some recording on me doing the work on that part of the layout. So I must apologise now, a lack of video content. But I have got some stills, what I took from my Instagram account. So I'll just have to talk over that. So I apologise my dulcet tones on that. But I have just got a couple of videos where I've got operational runs on that part of the layout, what I've installed and additional installed on the station as well, so you get to see that as well. So fine progress has been made on that. And obviously when I was off work due to the weather, Malcolm some of the days was here as well, and he's made fine progress now on the main station area. As we can see, you've got the wall here, retaining wall, what is going to help to construct to fit this, the canopy over the bay platform. He's now building the arches on this side for this to sit on, so we'll get to see that coming into fruition over the next few months. But we'll see Malcolm explaining that later in the video. Obviously I've been to a couple of shows. Excuse me, I must apologise now as well. I keep clearing my throat because I've just got over this viral infection. That's another reason why it took a long time to post a video. I haven't been too sharp, so I apologise for that as well. I've been to a couple of shows as well. I went to Mid Norfolk Railway last month, their little show they had, and some layouts, a couple of traders, and I met a couple of people who I know on social media. Matty's Models, Matty's Trains, who lives near me, so I sort of caught up with Matty, so that was nice. See, last week I attended the London Festival of Railway Modelling at Alexandra Palace, North London. So that was good. I enjoyed that. Once again, Malcolm came with me, and also my dear lady Danny, she came with me as well, and she enjoyed herself too. And actually she will be joining us next year, all being well. And at the show I just managed to buy some small purchases, some cup links, KD ones for the rolling stock and my locos. That's what we could be using them on the back of the loco tenders or tanks, and the leading coach in stock, and also for the wagons so they can decouple in the goods area of the layout. Also I bought some dropper wire, 1602 gauge, to do the droppers for the track work in this area, the engine shed area, and obviously eventually the Tiffy Valley station when we redo that part of the layout this year. So that's what we enjoyed of the show. Regarding the show itself, once again it didn't disappoint. I enjoyed the layouts. There was lovely O gauge layouts, there's N gauge and double O. I have got some footage of some of the running up action on the layouts, what I'll be showing later on this video, so you can enjoy that at the end to conclude with. The only thing I would say regarding the layouts, what I did notice, sometimes you stood there for a while before something really happened, before a train went through or something was shunting in the goods area, or a MPD, there's some movement, but sometimes you stood there for a while and nothing was going on. So that's the only thing. If I was being pernickety about the show, it would be nice to see some more movement on the layouts. But apart from that, what I saw was good. And once again, I go there for motivation. I don't know if it's the same with you. You have to leave in the comments below. But when I go to these shows, it gives me motivation of continuing my work on the layout. If you feel a bit, you lost your mojo, it gives you like an energy boost, like a adrenaline rush when you go to these shows and see what people have done, or you see something you think that will work on your layout. It does with me. I see something, oh, I can use that idea. That's quite creative. That's a fine idea. So as always, that did benefit me going to that show last week. And I did also notice with the trading situation, there were some new traders, but at the same time, those traders who you used to see there year in, year out, who weren't sadly there. So maybe due to health or circumstances, or they're finally packed up in dealing with the railway industry, model rail industry, or maybe it's just, the cost of it, hiring or booking a room for the weekend in a hotel, then your floor space you have to book and pay for. So you got to take that in consideration. So for some, maybe they decided to call it a day. So it was sad, but like I said, that was nice to see new traders there. And also I did notice the attendance wasn't as was pre-COVID. Before COVID, you would be fighting to get to the front, fighting past rucksacks and cameras and whatever to get near the front to observe the layout, what has been shown. But this year I noticed I found there's a bit more space at the trading stands and at the layouts. So, but maybe because I went on the Saturday and more people attend on Sunday, it could be the case. But that's just my personal observation. Obviously, we've now had the big players in the industry announce their releases for this year. Hornby released their catalogue. Bachmann have. Other ones have released stuff online, what they'll be bringing out this year. Hornby, first of all, this is their catalogue. And the front cover there you can see is one of the things I'm interested in, and that is the rebuilt Merchant Navy, as we can see here. And with this, it's going to feature the Hornby steam generator and sound and the synchronized chuffs. Now for me, I think Hornby have done a fantastic job with this, because when I was at the Mid Norfolk Railway show last month, a chap had on his layout the Hornby Black 5 steam generator with synchronized chuffs and sound, and to see that in action, I've seen it on YouTube when one's posted little videos, but to see it in the flesh in action, yeah, I was really impressed, and that is going to be a purchase on my layout, the Hornby Black 5, and obviously this new one Hornby bringing out, the Merchant Navy, this year. So there'll be two purchases there: the Hornby Black 5 steam generator, the rebuilt Merchant Navy steam generator, and it's be retooled. Hornby also bringing out the box set or train set of the Sir Nigel Grizzly. Now that's a nice box set, and I do like it because the Hornby have done Sir Nigel Grizzly in that BR blue, what looks amazing. The only stumbling block is its retail price of nearly £500. Now you got to think, do I bite the bullet to get it and just run the loco and have the other stuff in its box still, don't take it out, or do I wait and hope that Hornby will release that as an individual model later on? And if they do, that'd be good, because that saves me spending that much cash on a box set or on the train set when I just want the loco itself. Obviously, going to the Bachmann catalogue, they're producing the Bahamas Jubilee class with sound. That would be a thing on my wish list of a probable purchase, and also the 8F LMS 8F with sound. That would be probably another probable purchase as well, because I haven't got one of them on the layout. So there's some nice locos. I mustn't forget the other retailers like Rapido. They're producing a U class, Southern U class, what I've got my eye on, and that looks a fine model. They had it displayed in the cabinet at Ali Pali on their stand, and that did look like a fine model. So that would be a probable purchase as well when that is released end of the year. So many exciting things happening this year with the retailers, what they're bringing out. So, and there's many probably what you looking forward to buying from these retailers over the coming months. So what we're going to do now, we're going to see what Malcolm's up to on this part of the layout. He's going to explain what he's doing, and then we'll go over to the harbour station, see the work I've made there, and the little bits and pieces like the coal stays I've made at the stirring sticks And also you will see, we'll have my sister, she weathered a couple of box fans for me because she's a keen Warhammer modeler and painter. So kindly, she went out of her comfort zone and done some weathering on some box fans for me, and I think she's done a good job personally. So thanks again, Karen, for doing that for us. So let's let Malcolm explain what he's doing here at the main station. So a rare appearance. Malcolm's up in the loft today with me, so cracking on with the station. So what you got planned, Malcolm?
Now I'm going to try and finish these Hornby canopies off. That's not particularly my idea. That was an idea that Tony Northeastern came up with a few weeks ago,
Right.
and I was rather impressed with it. And so I got some of the old Hornby canopies, and it's just a revamp really. And I've got the three together, and I'm now going to put a little valance all the way across the top, all the way around, and that can all be sprayed cream. And then I want to kind of get a kind of an asphalt finish on the roof itself, the black piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what they used to do in the late 50s and early 60s. It was a cheap form of roofing,
Yeah.
on the canopies, but that's the plan anyway.
Yeah, no worries. So that black stuff that's just normal plastic card, isn't it?
Yeah, just plastic
On
card.
top
Yeah,
of
and
the
because
original
it's quite thin plastic card, it bent into the kind of the V shape of the Hornby canopies.
Yeah. And you just glued it down, I take it with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice
So
one.
that should look okay when it's done. I mean, the stanchions so far are looking really good, and
Yeah.
obviously
no.
they've all got to be finished once I've got the bits and pieces done and stuck in, and then the rest of the green will be painted the crimson red. So
Nice one.
that'll be
Come
good.
up a treat.
That'll be good.
So
Yeah.
where's the canopies going to be positioned then, Mal? Can you show
Well,
us?
ideally, I mean, we're going to have the overall canopies all the way across this section here, because these overall canopies are going to go right over here. I mean, I've got to get another set just to lengthen them,
Yeah.
and then we'll kind of make up a facade of a station at the back of it, because we don't have enough room for a full station. But where the canopies finish, then all these overall canopies rather, where they finish, and then these canopies themselves, the Hornby ones, are going to go across here,
Along
and
there.
obviously across this one as well. And I'll probably where the wall finish on this platform, I'll get some more Hornby ones, but I'll cut them in half,
Yeah.
and then stick them, as it were, on the wall.
Yeah.
So you've got like a half canopy along here.
Yeah.
You know? That was just something I never thought about doing until I see Tony Northeastern do it. So thanks, Tony. Good one.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just shows we support other modelers in their hobby and subscribe to everyone's channels. So yeah, thanks, Tony. I've used my Costa coffee stirring sticks to create a coal stave. I created 3 bunkers who are getting the heights here now, and here we can see I've got a wagon in to get the height right, because obviously that door on the side of the wagon you want it open to unload the coal into the bunkers of the staves. Now there's the completed staves, and there's my little gauge rule I use to get the right size. Here's the coal staves on the layout. This is the coal yard near the good shed on the harbour station, and there are created cinders in the track between the rails as it would get dropped off from the wagon. We've got 2 full bunkers there and then an empty bunker of coal dust there. You can see a man there with his coal sack on his back loading up the old coal truck. I think it's created a lovely scene in the harbour station. I'm really pleased how it's turned out. It gives a bit of detail to that part of the layout. Here we have my Pico LK 55 turntable. I put a base coat of Humboldt Desert Yellow and then sleeper grime on top. And then I had a bit of black as well to create a real weathered, grimy base of the well where the oil and dirt's built up. And you can see here, it's come out really well. The top of the rail, I've used a metal umbral paint to give it a polished rail effect, as you can see there. And then I just painted the side with a rusty rail. Here we have the deck of the turntable. The white handrails, I used a rail match matte white, and then blew over the sides with a frame dirt, and to give it a dirty side. And then on the rivets I just applied some rust where the build up on the layers here. And this is the deck itself. What I've done on the handrails, I used a rust wash, and I wanted to create an effect like you would get on the seaside, on a promenade or a pier, where the white paint, you get that real orangey rust come through where the salt air penetrates. So that's what I created, that effect on this. I think this came up really well, and it'd be perfect for being on the turntable, being near the sea. So the turntable is in situ here. It's not fixed down because I wanted to make sure it's all operational and works well. Here we have the boat train now coming in. It's crossed over onto the platform side of the station. It's now pulling a boat train. It's got a luggage van just behind the tender, and then my Pullman coaches for fine dining for the holiday makers, and then it's got a luggage van on the back. So we're now approaching the main station building. We're slowing up, applying the vacuum brake as it comes into the station. And we'll be slowing up because just where that black coal cinders are, there is a magnet between the rails, and that's for me to uncouple from the rolling stock. So on the back of the tender and the luggage van, there is a coupling called KDs, and there's a KD magnet in the track. So basically it allows me to do this. It uncouples automatically from the train. It means I can just approach the turntable now. Roughly where the loco is at the moment, there will be a water tower and a coal stave, so the loco can be refilled with water and coal before it does its return trip. So we're now coming off the track onto the turntable. Nice smooth transition, and we'll start to apply the vacuum brake to slow up so we can make the turn on the turntable. So it's in position, and we begin to turn anti-clockwise. Now I'm using for motor wise on the turntable is a Pico turntable motor, and with the remote, so it means I can control it. Just push the button, the two buttons, so I can go clockwise, anti-clockwise. So I'm going anti-clockwise, and we're approaching the track. What I need to go up to run past the train. So easy does it. Easy, easy. Oop. Just got that bit wrong. There we go. So we're ready to come off the turntable and onto the track to run around the train. And once again, a smooth transition off the turntable to the track. We're now running past the coaching stock, the Pullmans. And we see the luggage van just coming to shop, what I'll be attaching to when it runs round. So we're now going to be crossing over to the platform again. Points have been changed. And once we get past over this point where it's now crossing, the points will be set the other way, and then we can back up onto the luggage van. I really do like this part of the layout. It's made it really good for playability and operational. Running around your trains and turning them around, it's a bit of fun. So we wait for the signalman to change the points. point's been changed, and the train backs on to the coaching stop once again. Now you can just see where the tender is now. To the left is where that black tank engine is. That is the track that goes into the goods shed, and the other track's what goes to the coal yard and to the coal staves, what I showed earlier, what I created out of coffee stirring sticks. So it's made a busy little yard in there, so it's worked really well. Actually, you can see the other pannier tank, and then you can see the coal wagon now coming to shop. That's where the coal staves that are. So we're now backing up slowly. You can see the KD coupling there in the back of the tender. And as you see the approach, you'll see that lock with the other KD coupling on the luggage van. So here we go. You just see it and spring up, and we're connected. So the train's ready. We'll wait for the signalman to change the signal, and then the train can leave the station to go back onto the main line. And then we're off. So you can see the main line now coming to shot in the background. That is the up and down line. So the train is now going to be approaching the girder bridge, what carries the branch line. That'll be now coming to shot any minute now. And also to the right there, you've got the signal box. That's the Art Deco signal box by Barker and Sincraft. That's going to be roughly around there, but obviously a bit closer to the track, not set back as it is. So that's where it'll be roughly. Now you can see the girder bridge in shot. That's where the branch line is. And now the train will be now coming on to the main line on the down line. That's the junction. And it's off onto the main line. Here my sister is showing the weathered wagon she done for us, my box van, my Dapple Timothy Taylor wagon, and she's done a fine job on that. I really appreciate what she's done on that. That's out of her comfort zone because she's a Warhammer painter, so I appreciate what you've done there, Karen, so thank you very much. And here she's explaining it.
Here we go, so natural lighting. Now it's daytime, so you've got your rust. It's kind of hard to see actually, even in natural light. So you've got all nice faded. I've only done one wash. I'm worried if I do another one, it's going to darken it too much. So it's just enough to bring out the details. And so the wash stays all over it. And say the roof. So you've got this mixture of, it's been lightened by, well, bleached by sunlight. And I just did sponge some rust around the edges and on these points here. And then put, I don't know if it's like that stuff. That's like that. Not the moss, the other stuff that grows flatter. So I was going for that on there. Hence like these, we got dark green mixed with a little bit of light green in there as well. And then the black, very faint bits of black. That's the soot. So hopefully not too much. Kind of turns in nicely. And yeah, so I'm gonna put it in a box and all done.
Here I have a platform lighting kit by GLR. It's all plug in and play. There's no soldering required, all push fit connections and everything to go. I've got little T lights here. I got these because they remind me of my local heritage railway at the Mid Norfolk. This is at Dereham Station, as you can see. Same sort of style and positioned. I've done the same as well on my layout here. We just switched it on. You see they give off a nice bright light, and that's easy to install, no soldering required, and so I'm really pleased with the kit there. So to turn it on and off, we'll see in a minute when I've just dropped the camera down. And here we go. We've got a little toggle switch there, so I can just switch it to off. And the light is now off, and we'll just finger to go back on, and there we have it. Here we have my Pico buffer stops, and I used a matte white across the beam, rail match, and then the actual main buffer itself I used sleeper grime, and then added rust wash and rust pigment to give it a real rundown rusty effect. And then between the sleepers I've used static grass, burnt grass, to make it a bit sort of disused look in the side, and so it's worked really well. Now we'll conclude with some just running shots of some layouts I liked at the London Festival of Railway Modelling at Alexandra Palace. There's some nice layouts there. Didn't get all of them, but here's some that I enjoyed looking at on the Saturday. So once again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please give it a like. And as always, keep safe, stay well, and most importantly, keep modelling. Catch you again in the next video.
Yeah, I think I'm more sort of I'm more of a builder modeler than an operator modeler, really.
Okay. So I've got time, don't worry. Is it going back? Yeah. Okay.
But the others are that's one like that. I want to get the effect.
Originally went to 600.